Hello, this is Smart Money. My name is Kura Chihota, and joining me is my brother from the same mother, SmartRand.com's very own Mr. Warren Ingram. Well, when we talk about credit, it's something your credit record can make or break you in this interconnected financial world. A good credit score is imperative for you to be able to do things like get a job, secure a house or a home. But a bad credit score can be your undoing. How do we navigate the realm between good and bad credit? How do we stay credit active but credit healthy? Help me out here, sir.
This is, I mean, as you say, this is a big one. I think a lot of the time people don't really take this credit score very seriously. They're just saying, like, let's just get through the month, and if I pay my bills a bit late, don't worry about it. I'll fight it for a month and I'll pay them next month. Let's rather go party now. And the problem is, if you're an employer, and you want to know a bit more about your employees, especially if you're looking for people in the financial services industry, one of the very first things you're going to do is understand their credit record. And you may or may not be able to use that information to stop them from getting a job, but surely if they're stacking up against other candidates, you're going to say to yourself, why would I employ someone who's got financial discipline issues, as opposed to the person next door who's got the same qualifications, same experience, and a good credit track record. So I think it is an important one. And I think it's almost like you need to treat it as your CV. It's your financial CV. If you want, as you say, if you want to go and borrow money one day from a bank, sure, they might not be able to hold your whole history against you, but at the same time, they can price your debt cleverly. So, if they look at you and they say, well, you're a great risk, you've paid every bill on time for years and years and years, we'll lend you money at a better interest rate than the person next door who's constantly not paying things on time. So I think you've got to treat your credit record really seriously and be precious about it. And that means paying your bills on time. It doesn't mean that you take as much debt as you possibly can to try and build up this massive history. I think that's a mistake people make, is to say, I have to have lots of debt so I can show that I'm creditworthy. No. Take some debt, that's fine, but then make sure you pay it on time and pay it always ahead of schedule.
To get the basics going there, what is good debt and what is bad debt? Because managing your credit history is fine, but what's caused the debt to be there? I think getting the right thinking around that to say, what should I have, what's useful, what is value accretive for me versus what is more consumptive and perhaps detrimental for me would be a great place to hang this conversation.
So someone constantly taking debt to buy clothes, to buy things that just have no resale value, to me, that's bad debt. That's the bad situation. That's a warning sign. Whereas someone taking on debt to buy a property that they're going to live in, and the property is going to appreciate in value, or even taking on debt, and I know you're going to fall off your chair, to buy a property that's an investment asset, fine. if it's reasonable and affordable, that's okay. Pretty much the whole of South Africa needs public transport, so taking on debt to buy an affordable car, I mean, that's all good. But taking on lots of store card debt or having personal loans or credit card debt where you can just see that you're buying groceries, buying clothes, and then constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul the whole time in this bad debt cycle. Even if you're paying every bill every month, but you're just making ends meet, that's not a good sign. That makes you kind of dangerous to potential lenders.
I believe that post NCA we've even got call it a prioritization of debt. So I advise people when they're looking to buy property that perhaps take your mortgage as your first credit agreement, and then the car and the credit card follow behind that, because in that affordability assessment, they look at what outstanding debts you've got. So you'd rather have the valuable debt, so to speak, first to leave you space for the non-valuable debt, the store cards and the credit card. Make sense to you?
I agree, and I think if you can help it, you shouldn't be buying clothes, groceries, potentially even furniture on debt. Rather just don't have it. Rather don't buy the branded clothes, etc., and save up with cash and buy it with cash.
But the Sandton City sale, the half-year sale,
the big sales, yeah,
it's fantastic.
Got to have it, and I think that's the issue. I think we get stuck in this trap, don't we? And I mean, all our friends are in there, and look at how well they look, or how great they look, etc. Why haven't I got the latest fashion? But I think avoiding that debt enables you to buy a lot more stuff over decades than right now.
So maintaining a track record so that you can demonstrate that if you need to raise money, and we need to raise money at certain times in our life, something can happen. There's an opportunity to do a management buy-in at work or something like that. The ability to raise credit is predicated on good behavior.
Absolutely, and that credit CV, if you want to call it that, I mean, to me that's the way you should look at it, becomes then a really valuable tool. And you'll see with banks, they might not say it to you, but all of a sudden you just don't get the terms that you wanted, or they just decline you, and that'll probably be why.
Okay. You can see Warren doesn't spend a hell of a lot of money on his fashion, but that's okay. He's financially savvy. On the other side of this break, we're going to have a conversation with a young lady bubbling with energy. We're talking about your credit health. Don't go anywhere. You have to be back for Salem on the other side of this very short break.